Babes, this is our last day of recording before vacation.
Finally. I mean, we were barely surviving at this point.
Literally running on fumes. I am slightly tired, highly wired,
Yeah.
and just completely in my pre-vacation era right now.
But don't even worry, because, babes, we are bringing the laptops, the microphones, and all of our equipment to Salem.
Yes. Allison is coming with us. The chaos will absolutely continue.
Yeah.
Like, we do not take breaks. We just relocate the mess to a city with ghosts.
Exactly. We're just taking the delusion on the road.
Okay, but real talk, we actually wanted to do hair masks today. Like, babes, we had a whole plan.
A meticulous plan.
Yeah.
Soft girl prep.
Right. Self-care. We were going to be hydrated. But we do not have time.
Zero time. Because adulthood is literally nothing but responsibilities, schedules, and bills.
It is a scam. Plans versus reality, honestly. And, like, Danielle jumps in with this. Get Loki, FBI, if you're listening, this is a joke.
Always a joke, legally speaking.
Yes, legally a joke.
Mhm.
But watching this show every week is really out here making it seem like crime literally pays.
Oh, it pays incredibly well. It looks exhausting, sure, but the aesthetics are undeniable.
Right. Like, they're laundering money, but they have infinity pools. And here we are, like, fixing teeth all day.
Dealing with dental insurance companies? Not quite the same glamour.
It is not. And can we just talk about how being an adult actually kind of sucks sometimes?
It's the worst.
Responsibilities, the schedules,
Yeah.
no time for the hair masks. Like, what is this life?
Well, speaking of adulting, babes, we went to view apartments this afternoon.
Oh my God, the apartments. I am still recovering.
And when we say apartments, we mean we also went to look at a penthouse that we absolutely, fundamentally cannot afford.
Not even in our wildest, most unhinged dreams.
Like, babes, this place was 10 times our budget. Minimum.
It was magnificent. The elevator opened directly into the unit. Floor-to-ceiling windows.
Architectural glass everywhere.
Yes. And it was on a lake. The water was just, like, glittering right outside the living room. I was fully emotionally reacting. I was practically mentally moving my furniture in.
You had already picked out throw pillows. You were assigning room.
I was imagining myself drinking a perfectly frothed matcha on the balcony.
Meanwhile, I'm standing there, analytically breaking down the crushing weight of the reality. I'm calculating the HOA fees in my head.
You ruin everything with math.
Someone has to. I mean, I'm looking at this place like, okay, this is insane. The property taxes alone would require us to sell a kidney. But also, what if?
See? You felt the delusion, too.
I had a momentary lapse in judgment, yes. A tiny what-if fantasy.
Sometimes, babes, you just have to be delusional to survive the week. You have to look at the lake you don't own.
And that was our mandatory dose of delusion for the week.
It really was.
Well-
Wait, I need to spiral about something else real quick.
Please do.
When did literally everyone we know become a realtor?
Oh my God, the epidemic. It's actually a sociological phenomenon at this point.
It's insane. Like, you posted on Facebook looking for a realtor?
Just a casual, innocent post. Hey, looking to view some places. And suddenly, 50 responses.
50. Like roaches scattering when the lights come on.
It was unhinged. Talked to my mom. My cousin just got his license. My best friend's brother's girlfriend just pivoted from marketing and sells houses now.
Babes, what is going on? Are the commissions genuinely that good?
They must be. Or everyone is just deeply financially panicked.
I mean, did we choose the wrong career path? Should we have been selling split-level ranches instead of fixing teeth?
I'm starting to think so. I mean, we're staring at molars all day while everyone else is apparently closing on duplexes.
Full spiral. I am having an existential crisis. But okay, let's bring it back to reality. Highs and lows of the work week.
Ground us. Go ahead, you first.
Okay, my high. It was actually super satisfying. I had this incredibly easy patient.
A rare blessing.
Truly. They actually flossed. The tissue was perfectly healthy. I didn't have to give a lecture. It was just like a moment of pure, uninterrupted peace in the clinic.
I love that for you.
Thank you. My low, however, was chaotic. Just a completely exhausting, overbooked disaster of a day. People showing up late, the schedule falling apart by 9 a.m. I was ready to just scream into the suction tube.
Oh, the suction tube scream. I know it well.
What about you? Give me yours.
Well, my high was very snarky. I finally got to shut down one of those patients who tries to diagnose their own complex oral pathology using, like, TikTok videos.
Oh, I hate those. What did they say?
They came in with this elaborate, completely fabricated theory about their gums based on an influencer, and I just gave them the calmest, most sarcastic, analytically sound takedown of internet dentistry.
Yes. Put them in their place.
I cited peer-reviewed literature, babes. It was beautiful. But my low, Exhausting. The office internet went down for 2 hours.
Oh, no, that's the actual worst.
We had to use paper. We had to speak to each other in the hallways. It was like the dark ages. I was profoundly drained.
Forced socialization is a crime. But, thinking about exhaustion and time passing, who do we actually think is the greatest thief in history?
Ooh, that's a good pivot. D.B. Cooper.
Right. People always say D.B. Cooper jumping out of the plane with the ransom money. Or like the guys who did the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist.
Sure, classic answers.
But honestly,
yeah.
The greatest thief in history is Father Time.
Oh, absolutely. He's the ultimate burglar.
He literally breaks into your life every single day, completely undetected, and just steals your youth, your cartilage, your collagen.
And your patience. He steals all your energy.
All of it. Which is literally the perfect transition. Okay, babes, we are clearly in our delusional, pre-vacation, slightly unhinged era. Let's get into the mess of this week's episode.
Let's do it. Season 2, Episode 5, Halfway to Invisible.
The title alone, it hurts.
Because it analytically sets the entire theme. This episode proves that all the money in Westmont Village, all the offshore accounts, the luxury cars, none of it can stop aging.
Not a single cent.
You can be filthy rich, but you cannot buy back your youth. You are just halfway to invisible. Let me ask you, and the listener, have you ever looked around a room of incredibly wealthy people and realized they are all secretly miserable?
Oh, completely. You see them at these expensive restaurants, and their eyes are just dead. They have the designer bags, but they are terrified of getting older.
Exactly. And nobody is feeling that terror more viscerally right now than Mel.
Poor Mel. Oh my God, the menopause storyline. I was so emotional watching her opening scene.
The sauna of secrets.
Yes. She walks into the country club sauna, right? She's having hot flashes. She's sweating. Her body is actively rebelling against her. She just wants some steam and some peace.
What does she find?
She finds Sam. Sam. The woman who literally tried to ruin her life.
Sam is just sitting there, fully holding court.
And she's completely accepted by the Westmont women. They are all in there sweating, and some of them are casually doing shrooms.
Just a casual Tuesday microdose in the steam room.
And they are gossiping about Ash like teenagers. And Mel just has to stand there, isolated. She's completely ostracized, while the woman who destroyed her family is getting pedicures with her former friends.
It's brilliant strategy from Sam, honestly. She leveraged her new relationship with Ash to buy her way back into the inner circle. Rich people have zero loyalty. They only respect power.
It is so toxic, and Mel can't even go home to relax.
The noise war.
Babes, it was losing my mind. Mel's house is a literal construction zone because Bree, her petty neighbor, is building a brick wall.
A spite wall. A classic historical rich person move.
Purely because Mel complained about Bree's dog, Arlo, pooping on her lawn.
I mean the sheer waste of capital.
Just hire a pooper scooper.
Yeah,
it's like $20 a week. But no, she hires a unionized masonry crew to build a massive wall on the property line. The drills are deafening.
It's psychological warfare.
Yeah.
But it did introduce Miguel.
Oh, Miguel, the foreman.
Yeah.
The one bright spot in Mel's miserable life right now.
Mel gets his number under the guise of property disputes, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously. And she immediately starts fantasizing about him. And it's so relatable. She just wants a tiny moment of peace, a tiny romantic fantasy.
And then the industrial drill just aggressively rips her back to reality.
Going, ooh, every single time.
Yeah.
Reality just ruins it. But, I saw some internet chatter on Reddit.
The menopause discourse.
Yes, fans calling it menopause and complaining that her storyline is dragging, saying they only care about the crime stuff.
I've seen those threads. They lack analytical depth.
I will aggressively defend Mel right here, right now.
Yep.
The absolute crushing isolation of her situation is riveting. It grounds the show.
I completely agree. You need the emotional fallout to balance the financial crimes. Otherwise, it's just a spreadsheet.
Thank you. Speaking of financial crimes and spreadsheets, though, we have to talk about the $30 million disaster at the gym.
Nick's housewarming party. The audacity.
Babes, I lost it. He has a bowling alley in his house.
And an indoor basketball court. He is throwing money around like confetti.
While actively letting Ash invest $30 million into his gym, he thinks he's Steve Jobs.
He thinks he's a visionary. But analytically, he is a mark. He is the victim of a corporate raid, and he's serving champagne to the raiders.
Because Ash sent his guy, Luke DeMille, to do a full financial audit.
A hostile due diligence audit. Every receipt, every ledger.
Which means Barney is literally having a heart attack at the party.
Barney, who has been quietly laundering Coop and Elena's stolen money through those exact gyms.
Poor Barney is just stress eating his way through the catered food. I was stressing out on his behalf.
Because if Luke DeMille looks at the inventory logs and realizes the gym sold 500 smoothies but only bought enough protein powder for 50 the entire money laundering operation collapses.
Nick is totally blind to this. He thinks it's a quick payday, but he's going to lose his majority stake to Ash's board, and Barney panics and freezes all the accounts.
Which is a logical short-term defense mechanism for the audit, but it triggers a catastrophic chain reaction for Elena.
Oh my God, Elena, I need to scream about Chivo.
Please, the floor is yours.
He's the worst brother ever. Elena is out here doing actual crimes, risking her life to provide for him. And what happens? Chivo gets arrested.
His bail is $50,000.
So Elena calls Barney for the money, but the accounts are frozen. She can't get the cash.
So she makes a very desperate, highly flawed calculation.
She goes to Felix, the mobster, for a no-strings loan.
Which, as we know, in the criminal underworld, there is no such thing as a no-strings loan. That is loan sharking. The interest rate is probably weekly, and the collateral is her physical safety.
Exactly. She puts herself in massive danger to get Chivo out. And what does he do?
The ultimate betrayal.
He gets out of jail, immediately starts arguing with her, belittles her, and then steals her stuff and runs away.
He is the ultimate liability, just a completely toxic asset.
I was yelling at my screen.
Yeah.
Elena is now in debt to a literal mobster. She has no money, and she is totally isolated because Coop is out of the country.
Which perfectly transitions us to the yacht. The Peloponnese.
Yeah, the purple predicament.
It was a medical crisis of epic proportions.
I was laughing and cringing so hard I couldn't breathe. Okay, so Coop and Jack fly to the Mediterranean to meet Cricket Birch on her super yacht, right? They need her $400 million investment for the Excelsior Fund.
It is a critical deal, life or death for Coop, because he needs to launder Ash's money.
And Jack decides he wants to party like a rock star. So he takes a few too many boner pills.
A severe vascular catastrophe. He combined PDE5 inhibitors with God knows what else.
And his manhood literally turns purple.
A terrifying shade of purple.
The boat's medic had to come and drain it with a needle while they were trying to close a $400 million deal.
It was pure comedic chaos, but then the writers hit you with the reality check on the plane ride back.
Oh, that scene was so dark.
Jack realizes it's over. He looks at Coop on that private jet, and the bravado is completely gone.
He tells Coop, like, this is your future.
Yeah.
Jack is irrelevant. He's aged out of his own industry. He's humiliated, and he knows it.
Father Time 1, Jack is officially invisible.
It was chilling. Yeah. But hey, Coop actually managed to close the deal with Cricket before they left.
Yes, but the methodology was highly questionable.
So messy. Cricket hates hot money, right? She hates dirty money. And she and Coop have this intense history.
Years ago, he turned down her romantic advances because he was trying to be a good, faithful husband to Mel.
But now, he's backed into a corner. He's desperate. So he literally sleeps with her to secure the money.
It's purely transactional survival. He leveraged his physical assets.
But wait, you have to bring up the fan theory. I am still spiraling over that.
Okay, yes, the internet is circulating a wild theory that makes a lot of analytical sense. What if Cricket Birch is actually Ash's mysterious ex-wife?
Babes, if that is true.
Think about the breadcrumbs. Ash forces Coop to use Excelsior specifically. Cricket can smell dirty money instantly, like she's dealt with it before. Ash's wife left him with a massive settlement years ago.
If Coop just slept with Ash's ex-wife to launder Ash's money, when Ash finds out, he is going to literally burn Westmont Village to the ground.
The psychological retaliation would be unprecedented. It would mutate from a financial arrangement to a blood feud instantly.
I need this theory to be true so badly. But okay, let's go back to the party. The basement basketball court.
The reconciliation.
Mel finally corners Sam, or Sam corners Mel, and they hash it out. Sam actually apologizes for trying to ruin her life.
And Mel calls her a narcissistic sociopath, which is clinically accurate.
Very accurate. But then Mel forgives her.
This is where we fiercely debate, because I do not think Sam deserves it.
See, I think Mel is right to forgive her. Not for Sam, but just to drop the exhaustive baggage. Mel is so tired, the grudge is physically draining her. She just needs to let it go for her own sanity.
I understand the self-preservation aspect, but objectively, Sam tried to destroy a family for a $20 million payout. That is premeditated malice. You don't just get absolution because you feel a little guilty while sleeping with a billionaire.
But what is Mel supposed to do? Glare at her in the sauna forever? At some point, you just have to cut the cord so you can breathe.
It's a strategic concession, I'll give you that.
Thank you. And honestly, Mel needs all the peace she can get because the cliffhanger of this episode, absolutely tragic.
Losing the anchor.
It was so sad. So Coop is helping his dad, Ron, install this massive TV earlier in the episode. It was such a sweet, normal father-son moment.
Ron was the only purely good, stabilizing presence in the entire narrative.
The only one. And then later at the party, Coop gets the phone call. Ron died.
Just a sudden medical event.
It was a gut punch. Because amidst all the blackmail and the mobsters and the spite wall, someone just dying naturally, it felt so jarring and real.
And analytically, it is the worst possible moment for Coop to lose his floor. He is juggling Ash's blackmail, the Excelsior deal, Barney's audit, Elena's mob debt.
He's spinning so many plates. And Ron's death is going to shatter his fragile balancing act completely.
He is going to unravel.
Totally. Okay, I need to take a breath. Let's get into the segment. Segment 1, Neighborhood Watch, but make it petty.
Our favorite homeowners association board meeting.
I am calling out Bree immediately. The spite wall is a violation.
A massive masonry violation.
Babes, just hire someone to pick up the dog poop. You do not need to pour wet concrete and ruin someone's life over a golden retriever. It is peak petty.
It's highly inefficient, but I am calling out Nick's housewarming party.
Oh, the party of delusion.
Flexing a bowling alley while a hostile corporate takeover audit is happening in your back office. He is literally popping champagne for the people stealing his company.
He probably gave them a tour of the safe.
Yeah.
And I'm also calling out the Westmont women in the sauna.
The collective amnesia.
Doing shrooms and forgiving Sam instantly while treating Mel like trash. It is so gross.
They flock to power. Sam is with Ash, so Sam is powerful. Mel is broke, so Mel is discarded. Sociology 101.
Disgusting. Okay, segment 2. If we lived here, what kind of chaos would we bring to Westmont Village?
Honestly, we would be menaces.
I admit it, I would absolutely be spying on Miguel the foreman through my blinds.
You'd have binoculars.
A glass of wine, the lights off, just watching this man carry lumber. I'd be thriving in the petty drama.
Meanwhile, I would be at Nick's party, exclusively to steal the catered food.
You would clear out the shrimp cocktail?
I'd have Tupperware in my bag. And because I am pathologically nosy, I would probably wander into his office, open an unlocked laptop, and accidentally discover Barney's money laundering spreadsheet.
You would get us indicted.
I'm too nosy for my own good. I'd see the formulas and instantly know it's a front.
You are a liability. Okay, segment 3, delusion versus reality check. What they think versus what's happening. Jack, first.
Jack thinks he's a shark who can still party like a rock star.
Reality. He is a medical emergency waiting to happen, and his manhood turned purple. He's aged out of the industry.
Exactly. Nick thinks he's Steve Jobs expanding a fitness empire.
Reality. He is the clueless mark in a corporate raid and is about to lose his name on the door.
And finally, Tori, Mel's daughter. She thinks rejecting Princeton makes her an independent, cool rebel, unlike her mother.
Reality check. She is blowing up her life with teenage angst and becoming exactly as messy and reactive as Mel. She is Mel 2.0.
The tragedy of inherited behavior.
It is so frustrating. Which brings us to our last segment, Unhinged Life Choices Ranking. Let's debate aggressively.
Let's do it. First up, the questionable category. Coop sleeping with Cricket for the investment.
That is way more than questionable. That is so messy.
I argue it's just business. He was backed into a corner. He needed the signature to survive Ash's threats. It's tactical.
But if she is Ash's ex-wife, it is a death sentence.
Unconfirmed data. For now, it's just questionable survival tactics.
Fine. Messy category. Mel holding on to her grudge until she physically exhausts herself.
Definitively messy. She is letting the cortisol destroy her biology.
Totally. And the absolutely unforgivable category.
We're in complete agreement on
TiVo, stealing from Elena after she risked her life to borrow 50 grand from a mobster for his bail.
It is unforgivable. He's a toxic family member who will drag her to the bottom of the ocean.
I hate him so much. Elena needs to cut him off forever.
She has to. Which analytically brings us to our final thoughts.
Babes, this season is moving so fast. I cannot believe we are already here.
The pressure cooker is whistling.
And I want to leave everyone with a final chaotic thought. With Ron gone, will Coop completely lose his moral compass?
It's the biggest variable. Ron was the tether.
Right. What if his grief pushes him over the edge? What if he decides to pull his own family into his crime syndicate just to keep them close and protected?
A family that launders together stays together. It would be a complete Shakespearean tragedy.
I'm spiraling just thinking about it, but that is all the time we have. Thank you to the Snark Squad for listening and spiraling with us today.
We appreciate you. Please remember to rate, subscribe, and share this with your messiest friend.
Yes. Send it to the friend who would definitely build a spite wall. And remember, next week we are recording from Salem with Allison.
Expect maximum chaos, ghost stories, and intense reality TV snark.
We are bringing the mess with us. So until then, stay delusional.
Stay messy.
And we will see you on the Snark side.